just appreciate this church, and I appreciate this opportunity to be up here with you guys and just get to share a little piece of my story and what God has done in my life. And I know we're both grateful for space to share ourselves here, so thank you all for welcoming us. So, thinking about my God story, there's some themes that keep coming back. So I chose the title of Songs in the Wilderness, His Banner Over Me is Love. I also brought one of my paintings with me today because it just kept coming back. I was going to bring a smaller one, but this just kind of represents the theme, I think, as a visual. So thinking about the arc of my life, I think that I can say that I've experienced a lot of what feels to me like weary, dry lands. And heaviness, I'm kind of prone to melancholy too. I get that from the Irish side of my family. But with that, and that's the wilderness. We all have wilderness. We've all experienced wilderness in different ways. It might not look like me and what I'm sharing today, but we all know what that feels like. But with that, I have also tasted God watering me and caring for me. And I wasn't going to get emotional. Yeah. I won't get up on a table and start screaming, I promise. But I also, I didn't think I was going to get emotional, but I think whenever I have tears, it's usually just the goodness of God. So, yeah. Let me talk about this painting, then Josiah's going to read a scripture for us. This painting is called Of Wonders You Shall Behold. I did this some years ago. It is a self-portrait. It's within a series that's called Song of Ascents. And the whole series is about the upward movement of God in our life. From basically, you who dwell in the dust, awake, sing for joy, like look up. Kind of what Moses was saying, kind of what some of the songs today in worship were pointing at. That as we awake from the dust, God breathes life into us, and there are wonders to behold. I often have a lot of deep meaning in my paintings, and things that keep coming out after I'm done painting them, more meaning comes out. This piece has been kind of annoyingly simple, if I'm honest. The theme has remained pretty much the same, and it's basically the title, Of Wonders You Shall Behold. And it is a simple faith of, I believe that I will see your wonders, God. I believe that you are good. I think there's a sense of eternity. I put these little stars in here that are distant. There's a sense of just looking towards eternity. There's also a sense of, okay, I'm going to choose to look up. And there's a choice in that. I think there's a sense of that solitude too with the Lord that isn't always pleasant, but is beautiful. So this theme has kind of resounded throughout my life. A lot of my artwork talks about the landscapes of the soul, those places within us that just feel, they're full of solitude. It's just us. And often, for me, I've felt like, I don't see you there, God. I don't feel you there. I struggle with meeting you there. But he has continually showed himself there. So this kind of represents that. There's something also, Josiah and I kind of talk about this idea of the song. There's this sense that I've had throughout my life of God, these deep, deep cries of hunger inside of me. Deep need, deep weariness, deep thirst. And this desire for more, this need for more. And I think we've all probably experienced that, whether we know it or not. And then there's those moments where you hear the song of God. And it doesn't have to be a song, like music. For me, it often is. Music helps me kind of digest the gospel in ways that other things don't. But maybe it's seeing a waterfall, or maybe it's someone just looking directly into your eyes and fully seeing you, beholding you. And I think in those moments, you might have some pop into your brain now. There's this sense of the song of God that has been going for all time. Always singing. He doesn't stop singing. And part of this is that he is doing the wonders. He is singing, and I get to sit and I get to listen. Since we've talked about the song, do you have any? How would you explain that?
Yeah. I think we see in Genesis that God begins creation with a song, and that we were created by this sort of lyric movement of God. And then he, in the gospel, invites us into that and into the specific song for each of our individual lives.
So I'm going to have Josiah read Psalm 27. This is a psalm that has just continually come back and back and back in different seasons of my life. And in this time of, we've been married a couple years, it just keeps coming back a lot. We were also married on the 27th, so it's an important number to us. But I'm going to have him read it, and just feel free to listen, close your eyes, just take it in. I would say, too, if there's anything as you're listening, that if there's a weight to a word, or if there's something that just hits your heart in a certain way, feel free to say it at the end. I'll make space for that. But if there isn't, no worries, just listen. But yeah.
A Psalm of David. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When the wicked come against me to eat up my flesh, my enemies and foes, they stumbled and fell. Though an army may encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war may rise up against me, in this I will be confident. One thing I have desired of the Lord, that will I seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Lord, and to inquire in his temple. For in the time of trouble he shall hide me in his pavilion. In the secret place of his tabernacle he shall hide me. He shall set me high upon a rock. And now my head shall be lifted up above my enemies all around me. Therefore I will offer sacrifices of joy in his tabernacle. I will sing, yes, I will sing praises to the Lord. Hear, O Lord, when I cry with my voice. Have mercy also upon me and answer me. When you said, seek my face, my heart said to you, your face, Lord, will I seek. Do not hide your face from me. Do not turn your servant away in anger. You have been my help. Do not leave me or forsake me, O God of my salvation. When my father and my mother forsake me, then the Lord will take care of me. Teach me your way, O Lord, and lead me in a smooth path because of my enemies. Do not deliver me to the will of my adversaries. For false witnesses have risen against me, and such as breathe out violence. I would have lost heart, unless I had believed that I would see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Wait on the Lord. Be of good courage, and he shall strengthen your heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord.
I have a few phrases that I feel deeply from that, but yeah, does anybody have anything that maybe was touched or that you felt the weight of?
I don't know if a Tolkien reference is appropriate, but
Very appropriate.
we went to the Tolkien festival all weekend, and just with all those horrible battle scenes that I'm not really fond of, but we all find ourselves in situations like that where we're overwhelmed. There's no hope. How are we going to get out of this? And somehow, throughout the trilogy, something always comes through. And God is that for us.
Mm.
Experience that. I think we've all experienced that.
Mm-hmm.
It just shows up in the darkest times.
Yeah.
Eagles appear out of the sky.
Yeah.
I haven't had the eagle experience, but
This is my dad, by the way, where I got my love for Tolkien. Any other words or thoughts? I just want to make space for all of us.
Armor of God.
Armor of God. Yeah. Yeah, he's a stronghold of my life. Yeah. What was that? Yeah.
For a lot of years, consistently, I will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living.
Yeah.
It's like a mantra.
Yep. Yep.
The word
Dwell, yeah. Yeah.
The phrase forsaken by father and mother, but
Mm.
not forsaken by God. That really hit.
Yeah.
It was like, yes, in this world many have felt
Yeah.
that father lack and that mother lack. But
Yep.
God steps in and he doesn't do that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
I think sometimes we can see the wonders of the Lord in a storm and a great fear that's ahead of us. Like I remember this verse, Psalm 107, 23 and 24. They that go down to the sea in ships, that do business in the great waters, they see the works of the Lord and his wonders in the deep.
Mm.
The Israelites were always afraid of the sea, of storms, and it's this big chaotic vastness that you can't control
Mm.
what's going to come next. And in those places of fear, you can't see wonder too, of the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, you're going to lead us through this.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes me think of Jesus on the water, and he just says, "Peace, be still." They're so afraid, and he says, "Peace, be still," and everything changes. Yeah. Thanks for sharing. For years, I have continually come back to, I would have lost heart had I not believed in the goodness of God in the land of the living. That has just been a repeated prayer. And there's so much weight to that, I feel like. There's a depth of sorrow, I think, and just the lived experience of struggle and difficulty of life. And also this persistent hope and belief that he is good. And it's as simple as that. And that I will see the goodness of God, not because I am perfectly laying myself before him and learning how to be a just strong Christian and just doing all the good things. No. Because he does that work in me. He's the author and the finisher of my faith, of each of our faith, of our stories. He begins it, he ends it, he brings it to completion. And because of who he is, we get to believe and that we will see the goodness of God in the land of the living. And often and I'm sure most of us, if not all of us, don't feel that. But it's true. I also just want to honestly enter my story with you guys. I've probably kind of already said this, but I've struggled with my faith a lot. Sure, we can all say that. But yeah, this current season of life has been beautiful. I'm newly married. It's also been really hard. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't. I realized, I knew I was selfish before, I realize now how incredibly selfish I am. And how just really hard it is to receive love. And yeah, to feel my own lack of capacity, like such a lack. So just to say that, like, this is me in this moment of life, and yeah, there's been a lot of silence, it feels like, from God, too, if I'm honest. And I don't like that. I really struggle with that. But there's been a consistent Ebenezer of his love. Remembrance of his goodness. And he's shown up in a lot of different ways that are so beautiful. We can move on to the next slide. So, chocolate kisses from heaven. Some years back, this is kind of the core of my God story for today. Some years back, I was in California, and I was in this season of just crying out to God. And the basic cry was, Lord, I know that there's so much more of you, and I don't know how to get it. Like, I need you, and I feel my utter lack, and I don't know how to get the more that you promise. I don't know where it is. So I would just, this is when I was single, and I would be on my floor just weeping, and just feeling so desperate. And I had this moment kind of in that season where someone prayed over me and prophesied over me. And I felt the Lord in ways that I had never felt him up until that point in my life. And it was such a gift. And he just showed himself to me and just breathed just this beautiful life on me. And one of the things this person prayed, she prayed a bunch of things, and all those things actually came to reality in my life that year in really neat ways. Those are a bunch of stories. I'm not going to keep you for 3 hours. But one of them that she said was just, he's going to give you chocolate kisses from heaven. And I was like, oh, I don't know what that means. I really like chocolate, but chocolate kisses from heaven, what does that mean, Lord? And I can say honestly that he very quickly revealed those to me, as there were very tangible things that happened that year that were like, oh, this is the tangible love of God for me. And that had not happened in my life before. I think I'd wanted it to. I probably prayed for it to. And in those moments, there's a choice to say, oh, wow, that's really neat. And maybe walk on. Or to say, oh, I believe that that is for me. And I'm going to receive that for me from my Father because he loves me. And I get to say, thank you. And it's as simple as that. So one of those chocolate kisses from heaven was in Yosemite National Park. Has anybody been there? It's one of our favorite places ever. We both have a lot of God stories from there, from before we knew each other. So to set the stage, I was walking through the valley of Yosemite by myself, and I had a few hours, and I was listening to worship music, and I was just really weary. I was in a kind of moment of my life where I had a lot of heartbreak, really lonely, eating disorder stuff, really just struggling with my identity, myself, who I was. Also having sweet meetings with the Lord in that, but just a lot of struggle. I'm walking the valley floor, I'm listening to some worship music, and I just have this deep desire that I think I was kind of saying to the Lord of just like, I just want to know that you're leading me. I just want to know that you're here. I don't feel you. I feel so alone. Where are you? But I just want to know that you're leading me. And I'm walking for a few hours, and I think there's little inklings of, oh, I feel like my steps are being led by you. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where my destination is, but I feel like I'm being led. Oh man, please be leading me, because I don't want to make this up. And I get to this point after a few hours, still just sad. I think there's probably some depression going on and heaviness. And I get to the river, and it's just beautiful, flowing. And out in the distance, I see this log that's jutting over the river. And I just have this sense of, oh, I want to be on that log. I want to sit there. Maybe, like, I feel so tired now. I want to rest. I just had this desire to sit on this log. So I make my way to this log and trudge along the rocky shore, get to the log. It's kind of big, so you have to clamber up over it. So I climb up over it. It's jutting over the water. It's just beautiful. And as I'm climbing, at the very, very end of it, sitting over the water, I see this like little seat, it looks like. I was like, oh, that looks perfect to sit on. Wow, okay, that's cool. So I go over there. You can go to the next slide. And I'm listening to this song. And this is just a song on shuffle on my playlist. It's called Feeling Low. It's by Will Regan. Some of the lyrics go, through the pain and strife, as I look beyond the cares of life. And right in this moment, I sit down on the edge of this log over this river. My feet are dangling down. And as I hear the line, I can feel your heart. You can go to the next slide. I see this. And I could not see this anywhere else. I couldn't see it from the shore. I couldn't see it as I was climbing up. I sit down and I hear those lines. I can feel your heart. And then I see this. And you know those moments where you just, no, I didn't do this. But this is given to me. And yeah, it was massive too, just river rock. Somebody had done this. It was right in front of me. And just the kindness of God just illuminated my whole experience in that moment. It was just so, you know how you see him, you see a glimpse of him, and everything changes. And that's what this was for me. If you can go back to the previous slide, yeah. Just to say that this song continued in its goodness. It said, you lead me to the water, sweet water, the water of life. When I'm sinking, you lift me up out of the night. Like it just continued. He led me to the water. And then he gave me the words to even understand what he was doing. And I know that he wants to do that for us. And I don't want to miss that. And I so often do. But he's the kind of God that wants to share his heart with us. Psalm 81 says, singers and dancers say alike, all my springs are in you. And I think of Isaiah 55, come to the waters, all you who thirst. Come and drink. You who have no money, come buy and eat. Come to the waters. They are for you. They are free. They are freely given. They are for you. So often I struggle to even know what it looks like to come to the waters. But he has continually been faithful and kind to bring me the waters. If you want to go to the heart slide, just, I like looking at it. So as I've kind of thought about this story and as we've talked about it a little bit, I think I've realized freshly I can be a doer. I want to try to do things for God. I want to try to figure out my own salvation. I want to say the right thing so that he will do the thing that I need. But the beauty of this is that it wasn't that I went searching for God and I found him. The beauty of this is that he made a place for me, and I get to receive that. And it wasn't me looking down at the river. It was him looking up at me in his love. It wasn't because, I made space for God, because I just trekked along Yosemite and searched him out. It's because he's kind and he's good, and his love, he loved me first. And I forget that a lot. But he loved me first. He sang over me first. I didn't create this heart. God created this heart. He brought me to his love. His banner over me is love. It's not my banner of love is given to him. And yeah, I want to learn how to love God more. I want to love him more freely, more openly. But just to remember that he looks at us. He looks at each one of you. And he says, I love you. From the very beginning. Whether we acknowledge it or not, he delights. He delights in us. He says, I sang over you when as yet you had no days. I delighted in you when you were nothing. Before you even were, I sang over you. I rejoiced over you. This is already going longer than I thought it would. I'm checking the time. But basically, what is the center of this God story? Yeah, the heart in the river wasn't me finding God, but that he looked up from that river after sitting there and waiting for me. He was with me all along too, but he specifically made that for me. And he looked up in love, not because of what I did, but because he's good. Because he's good, I can sing, I can rest. Yeah, I would have lost heart had I not believed in the goodness of God, had he not shown me his goodness, because he does that for us. He brings us, he leads us to his love. He wants to lavish it on us. Yeah. There's a lot of other things I could probably say, but I've gotten to taste and see the goodness of God, and I'm really weak. My faith is really small. But I know today that he changes everything, and he does that for all of us. One glance changes everything. His heart changes everything. I have a heart desire that my heart delights in him. Like when he actually shines his light on me, there's just this like, oh my gosh, like, oh, my heart comes alive in you. That's not because of my heart doing the thing. It's because God does that. He delighted over me first, and he brings out the life, just like a little tiny seed. I think of seeds and seedlings a lot. And just like a tiny little seed that looks dead. And the seed has to fall to the ground and die in order to bring life, right? And then it gets some light. And it just bursts into life. It becomes what it was made to be. Not because of the seed, but because of the one who nourishes it. And there's a simplicity in that I just really appreciate, because life is complicated. And faith often feels really complicated. But he is the author and the finisher of my faith, of each of our faiths. And I remember today that he began the good work and he will complete it. He is the beloved one, the beautiful one. He also calls me beloved and you beloved. His banner over us is love. So that's basically it. I have a song that's kind of been in my heart, and I'd just love for us to have space today to listen to it. If you're down, I'm going to have Josiah read the lyrics just to kind of let them soak in a little bit. Is that okay? And we're going to go from, you can explain, but we're going to go from the song just into communion. So go back to the communion tables with a group and just take some time to do communion together. And just take the space that you need in the song too, just to sit with the Lord, to behold him, to know that he beholds you and cares for you. His banner over you is love. So this song is called Hidden, and it's by Will Regan. And yeah.
You as we go into communion and thinking about this song, in talking about this, I was reminded of Jesus saying to the Father on the cross, my God, why have you forsaken me? And there is so much of that pathos, that desperation that we see in this psalm as well, I think. And David has no answer. He's not certain that God won't forsake him, but he has a desperate hope that God is not going to. And the reason why David could have that hope, and the reason why we could have the hope that we will not be forsaken, that God will actually come for us and will look for us and will find us, is because when the Son was looking for the Father to look at him, the Father turned away. So on the cross, the Son who's always been in fellowship with the Father is forsaken by the Father in his experience, so that the Father could turn his face to you and to me, so that you wouldn't be forsaken. The eternal Son of God, the one whose sacrifice we remember in communion, was forsaken. It would seem that the Father looked away from him so that the Father could look upon you and never turn away from you. And so as we listen to this song, as we go into communion, I would encourage us to remember that the Son who was forsaken so that we would be always before the Father. Hidden. There was one when I was young who knew my heart. He knew my sorrow, held my hand, and he led me to trust him. Now I am hidden in the safety of your love. I trust your heart and your intentions. Trust you completely. I'm listening intently. You'll guide me through these many shadows as I grow and as I change. May I love you more deeply. I will lean upon your grace. I will weep because your goodness is unending. You are my vision, my reason for living. Your kindness leads me to repentance. I can't explain it. This sweet assurance, but I've never known this kind of friend. I can't explain it. This sweet assurance, but I've never known this kind of friend. The sun, moon, and stars shout your name. They give you reverence, and I will do the same. With all my heart, I give you glory. The sun, moon, and stars shout your name. They give you reverence, and I will do the same. With all my heart, I give you glory. I want to seek you first. I want to love you more. I want to give you the honor you deserve, so I bow before you. I am overcome by the beauty of this perfect love. I want to seek you first. I want to love you more. I want to give you the honor you deserve, so I bow before you. I'm overcome by the beauty of this perfect love. Now I am hidden in the safety of your love. I trust your heart and your intentions. Trust you completely. I'm listening intently. You'll guide me through these many shadows. Now I am hidden in the safety of your love. I trust your heart and your intentions. Trust you completely. I'm listening intently. You'll guide me through these many shadows. So we'll listen to this song together, and then once the song ends, if you want to go to a table and join in with communion.